folks. We had to... on my end, I had to uninstall Twitch and reinstall it, and lo and behold, it works. Oh, dear. And, oh, goody gumdrops. I see spots of rain falling. But nevertheless, let's quickly go...
I'll be good for Q2.
Yeah. So we got Smooth, Low, Erdica, Hurricane, and Danny all out of qualifying. I was like, I mean, let's just look at how close it was. From Penku all the way down to Erdica. I mean, that is tight. Yeah, 6/10 between second place and 18th. I have a feeling it's going to be closer than that on a regular. I think it's going to be something like that on a regular basis. And Hazel's actually out as well. He must have had a crash somewhere. I might be wrong on that one. Nevertheless, for those that are just joining us, we've just finished Q1. For those that have just joined us, this is we've just finished Q1 for the X1 division of the Extreme Racing League, and we are at Mexico for round 19 of the championship. It's season 3, and I've got Harry with me in the commentary box. We've managed to get the technical issues fixed, and lo and behold, the rain is starting to get heavier. And Zola informing me that one of the Haas drive. That he informed me that Hazel crashed out. That Hazel did indeed crash out.
It's going to be
ensuring
a race now. Everyone's going to be rushing just to get out now with the rain.
Yep. But there's nothing on screen that says DRS disabled as of yet. And I was just saying before I had to go and fix the technical issues that with how close everyone was, there was like 2/10 between 12 of the drivers at one point. With how close it was, I didn't even want to predict what time you needed to guarantee safety into the second part of qualifying. That's how close it was. Ledger is first out onto the track.
You've got pretty much most of the grid right now on the soft tyres. You've only got Anderson, JBL, CJ Allen, and Penku pretty much fit in the mediums.
Yeah, but of course, bearing in mind, round this track, the soft tyres do not last long round this track because of how high the tyre wear is, especially through the middle sector. But there is going to be a 1 minute silence before the race gets underway, folks, to mark the as our way of paying respects to the late Adrian Campos, the founder of the Campos racing team for Formula 2 and Formula 3. He passed away on Wednesday at the age of 60. He was a former Formula 1 driver himself, and a few of the drivers this evening are wearing orange as a mark of respect for the late former Formula 1 driver. Just 6 points between McLaren and Haas for the Constructors' Championship. I think this is going to go all the way to the... I think this is going to go down to the wire. Not just for the Drivers' Championship, but more importantly, for the Constructors' Championship. Both titles decided at the final race. I'm definitely on board with that. Ledger crosses the line with a 1:14.9.
Oh, it's like 15-1.
14-7 for Ultimate.
Path did his lap, so that he's gonna have to go again.
So the rain's not coming down that heavily, so he should still have time. Wax is on an out lap. Which actually begs the question regarding Wax. Does he wax on or does he wax off? You can let me know in the comments, folks. And I made people aware last week that I was doing a charity stream for Minds Over Matter, and I can and as far as the final total we raised was concerned, is once everything is finalised, we managed to raise £200 for Minds Over Matter yesterday. So thanks very much to everyone that managed to contribute towards a fantastic cause. Minds Over Matter is a mental health charity in my local area.
Path set up, got the fastest lap time on it, 14.7. 7.4 to be precise.
Less than 200s ahead of Ultimate. But there's definitely going to be a lot of excitement. There's a lot of excitement heading into next season because there's going to be a major reshuffle of all three rosters so that we have closer racing than ever before in the XRL. Meaning, we don't know who's going to win each race, who's going to take pole, and above all else,
who will win the championship.
Absolutely. Which means we could be all but guaranteed a championship decider at the final race of the season. We had it last season when it was down to Sack and Nilsson, who has unfortunately lost his full-time seat, as has Tamer. But Tamer is in the process of moving house. So hope all goes well for him. I'll say there's just 6 points between McLaren and Haas for the Drive Constructors' Championship. The gap is down to 22 points in the Drivers' Championship, but we've seen before that Sack is a strong all-rounder in his car. He's a strong all-rounder in both wet and dry conditions, especially in the wets. Who knows what's going to happen here? Wax comes into the pits. Rain's still not coming down as heavily as we were fearing. Which then begs the question, which then pretty much confirms that we're going to be seeing the top 10, apart from Penku, all starting on soft tyres.
And it would also depend on what will happen in Q3. If it will stay dry,
Absolutely.
or will it be intermediates.
Indeed. Path and Ultimate both retiring from the session, both happy with their times.
JBL's coming across the line with his lap time. It goes to improves to 94 minute 15.9.
And that puts Penku in the drop zone. Penku is on soft tyres, but he's
Going in the pits.
yeah, not ideal. Anderson's invalidated his lap, but we'll see what he can pull out of the bag. So Lopez will be happy that he's into Q2. He'll be definitely out to score some points, especially with it being his home race, not just for him, but for his compatriot Erdika, who got knocked out of Q1. It's a big night for wrestling fans tonight because it is the Royal Rumble tonight. One of our XRL drivers, Fiend, will very much be looking forward to that.
We got CJ Allen now coming through the stadium section. Running into the final corner. What is he going to pull out of the bag? 1:16.5.
16.5. He improves his time, but not his position.
Now we've got Wax, who's on a lap. He's improved by. He's improving.
He's half a second up. If he can find another tenth or two, he might see himself into the top 10. Oh! Not what he would have wanted.
And he dives into the
And into
pits.
the pits he goes. That is really unfortunate for Wax. But it's a good start for him so far. He's made it out of Q. He made it out of Q1.
Anderson is coming out now. Rainy still doesn't look like it could cause any trouble.
So it looks like regardless of what happens, the top 10 are going to be all starting on soft tyres. JBL's retired from the session, interestingly. That's a bold move. Is that going to pay off, though? I don't think that's going to pay off, because that's very risky. He's 9th at the moment. He could be eliminated here.
Wax is now coming out on his outlap as well. So it's that time where in the session that everyone will be going out and getting their laps in to try and improve. Wallington's retired from the session. Is that another mistake we could be seeing in Wallington in qualifying? Recently he's been making a few qualifying mistakes.
It's not the first time we've seen him retire from the session and then get knocked out of qualifying. Not the first time we've seen that happen. Will the same thing happen here?
Peter Pettigrew and CJ Allen are starting to come out now. Will Ross be going out to get his lap to get approved?
There's not going to be enough. There's not enough time.
Oh,
There's
so
not
he's
enough time.
out.
So Caesar's going to be out.
And so
Caesar's going to be out regardless.
Enough time as well to get around the track. And
Well, he's
Henku
just going through. He's just going through turns 1 through 3. He's going down the second DRS straight. He should be okay.
We'll keep an eye on that. Anderson is improving slightly, but I don't think it's enough for him to go through.
Anderson needs at least a 16.3 to guarantee getting into Q. Oh, and he doesn't improve. He's got time for one more lap, though. No, he's backed out, so that's it. Anderson's out.
Wax is on a hot lap as well. He's coming through the S section.
He's up by a couple of hundredths.
Oh, and he's invalidated it. That's him out.
He's not going to have time to go for another lap. That's it. Wax is out. He starts 14th. CJ does indeed make it across the line.
With 9 seconds remaining as well. Penku not improving in the first sector, and neither CJ Allen is improving in the first sector.
That could be a huge sigh of relief for Waddington and especially for JBL. Apparently the track's too wet now. That's why we're not seeing any
Penku's backed out,
improvements.
and so is CJ Allen.
So CJ's out. Waddington and Lopez are safe. No, Lopez is out. No, Waddington and JBL are safe. Huge sighs of relief from Haas, Williams, and especially for Mercedes with Penku, who was on the bubble. He's going to be the biggest beneficiary of the top 10 because he'll be the only one starting on mediums.
And now it's the top 10 sheet. What tyres are they going to be driving on?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. Is it going to be dries or is it going to be inters? Lopez just missing out of the top 10 by just a couple of tenths. So it's Path, Ultimate, Ledger, Sack, Ollie, Sasha, Jazz, Waddington, JBL, and Penku all in the top 10. Penku, the only one starting on mediums. And you've got Lopez, CJ, Anderson, and Wax all out.
And that gap between Path and Ultimate, is that going to be the same in Q3? We'll have to wait and see.
Indeed, we will.
Here we go, Q3. And it looks like they've all been fitted on softs.
So still no sign of going on to inters, but it looks like
But if it is like this, it could be one lap and that's it in qualifying.
Indeed.
And it's the same in Q3, in Q2. Everyone charging out to get that lap in. And Warrington is the only one that's in the pits at the moment. Everyone else on outlaps. And it's going to be...
That is interesting.
Well, it's going to be Sasha will be setting the lap time first.
We'll see what he can pull out of the bag. Who knows how this is going to play out.
Sasha's now gone through the stadium section.
What's he going to set as far as the time is concerned?
Path has invalidated his lap. And that is not what he needed. Sasha will cross the line though. 19.6. Ultimate beats that.
19.2 for Ultimate.
So that crosses the line. 19.5. So it is getting... It's getting
wetter.
slower. So the lap times are not going to be as quick as we thought. Penku goes 1:19.5 and goes second.
Ahead of the championship leader, that could be pivotal as far as momentum is concerned.
Wellington has just started his lap. Now Bath has got to get through the traffic of the other drivers in this lap. Coming through the S's. Now
Not what he would have wanted.
he's keeping it clean, which is good. Heading through to the stadium section. Around the final corner now. What is this lap time going to be for Path? Crosses the line. 1 minute 20.2. That puts him in 7th. It's definitely not what he needs. And Ollie has had a spin on the straight. And what a team 120.5. That puts him 9th. I think that is generally going to be it for Q3. I don't think we're going to be seeing anyone going quicker. The track getting wet pretty much as time goes on.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be Ultimate that takes pole position.
And Path is down in 7th. He'll need a good race to be if he wants the championship. The points to be reduced.
The Legends retired, Ollie's retired.
Penku's now retired.
Penku. And here comes the domino effect. One retires, everyone follows suit.
Sasha's now retired as well.
Yeah, everyone following suit. Yep, Sax retired. So I think that's it. And interestingly, Path going for another run. Waddington's retired.
And on the first set of softs,
That is interesting. Why would Path go out onto the track again knowing conditions are only going to get worse?
also JBL's is out on the track as well. And Path goes straight back into the pits.
Is JBL going to follow suit?
And yeah, he does. The Path
Yes, he
retires.
does.
Path retires from the session. Will JBL do that as well? Yes, he does. So Jazz is the only one that hasn't retired yet.
Is Jazz just going to run down the clock? We've seen it happen before. Yeah, it is too wet to try and improve on your lap times. And some of the drivers are telling Jazz that you need to retire from the session. So there we go. Time's up. Ultimate on pole. And he's got Penku alongside him on the front row. Sack ahead of his championship rival, which could very well be pivotal as we head into the race. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 3 rounds to go, and we're at the home of the XRL. It is Mexico for round 19 of Season 3 for the X1, sponsored by ANS 3D, CD Keys, and One Tap. The children in Mexico received their presents on January 6th, interestingly, rather than December 25th. Mexico City is the oldest city in North America, and there are women-only cars on the subways in Mexico. So, interesting factoids there. The first Mexican Grand Prix was held in 1962, and no driver has won more than twice at the Mexican Grand Prix. That is, of course, Jim Clark, Alain Prost, Nigel Mansell, Max Verstappen, and most recently, Lewis Hamilton. Not most recently with Max Verstappen, my mistake. And Jim Clark did complete a Grand Slam at the Mexican Grand Prix in 1963. That is the pole, the win, the fastest lap, and leading from lights to flag. 2.67 miles, 3 DRS zones, 17 corners to negotiate, and you've got 7 to the left, 10 to the right. You've got run down to turns 1 through 3, that complex between Verstappen, Vettel and Hamilton in 2017, and then turns 4 and 5 in 2015 between Bottas and Raikkonen. It's the middle 3 of the Pirelli range, C4, C3 and C2, and you're looking at 21 to 22 seconds to make your pit stop round this track. So here's the starting grid then for the Mexican Grand Prix. Ultimate on pole position, and we've got Penku alongside him. He starts on mediums. He'll be very happy with that qualifying performance. Sack, our championship leader, in third. He's got Sasha for company in fourth. JBL, a fantastic performance of him in fifth, making up for what happened last week. Ledger in sixth, and you've got Path in one of his worst qualifying performances of the season. He is in seventh. He'll be looking to carve his way through the field. He's got Ollie for company for him in eighth, and you've got Waddington in ninth, and you've got Mexicans 10th and 11th. You've got Jazz rounding up the top 10, and you've got Lopez alongside him. Well, behind him on row 6, and you've got CJ in 12th. Anderson in 13th. Our newcomer, Wax, 14th. He'll be happy with that. He's got Hazel and Danny behind them. And you've got Hurricane, Erdica, Low, and Smooth rounding up the grid. So we're just about to get the 1 minute silence underway to pay our respects to the late Adrian Campos, who passed away earlier this week. Adrian Campos passing away earlier this week at the age of 60. We're just about to get underway, folks. We just need to wait for the all clear. Zach, being the head admin of X1, will be the one to make the call. There we go. Zach first to ready up.
And we are ready to go. It's a long run down to turn 1.
Indeed, it's one of the longest runs. It's one of the longest distances between the start line and turn 1. Nevertheless, here come the lights. 5 lights. It's lights out, and it is race time here in Mexico. We're looking at a predicted 2-stop strategy. Zach already ahead of Penku, chasing Ultimate down to turn 1. Very clean getaway from a lot of the drivers. Lopez, clean start. Jazz getting ahead of Path. Sasha's dropped a couple of places. Here we go into the first of the complexes, turns 1 through 3. Very clean from a lot of the drivers. We've had a spin already, and I think it involves JBL.
He manages to keep it though, but he's lost a bit of time.
A lot of these look at this. A lot of these drivers 3-4 wide heading into these chicane complexes. There's nothing between these guys. And we do have yellow flags. It's Lowe and Hazel. Doesn't look like they've sustained any front wing damage. Crucially,
CGL is battling. He's trying to battle JBL for P6, but Path is now on his tail.
Jazz getting ahead of Warrington. Meanwhile, and let's go. And Warrington actually dropping down the order.
Doesn't look like he sustained any front wing damage.
Is anybody going to be coming into the pits? Don't think they are. Warrington, meanwhile, trying to get one ahead of Jazz. And we've done it! We've broken the streak! We finally have a first lap with no front wing changes! The streak is over!
JBL went off.
But we are going to get a lap 2 front wing change. We didn't get a lap 1 front wing change, but we're guaranteed a lap 2 front wing change. Ultimate leads, Zach 2nd, Ledger 3rd, Sasha 4th, Penku 5th, CJ 6th, Path 7th, Ollie 8th, Warrington 9th, and Jazz rounding up the top 10.
Lopez is doing well, keeping it in P12. If he can keep away, he's keeping out of incidents.
And the big winners and losers off the start. You got CJ up 6 places off the start. Great start for him. Hazel down 5. And then, oh dear! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Erdica's got, Erdica.
I saw somebody shoot off to the left on the screen. It must have been Erdica.
Yeah, it was. He's dropped down the field. He's now last in the field.
Stone dead last, but it'll be JBL who'll be stone dead last very, very shortly because JBL into the pits.
At least we didn't have a lap 1 pit stop.
Yeah. We managed to break that streak. Finally. We finally managed to break that streak. Absolutely. Definitely a very chaotic start.
Ultimate Saka already building out a lead to the rest of the field. Half right now, we've got the DRS and CGL in on that straight heading to the stadium section. And so far, both of our Mexicans, Erdica and Lopez, are 12th and 19th respectively so far.
I think Jazz sporting the Mexican flag this evening as well. He is in the points at the moment. DRS is enabled.
Arthur's got that DRS on CJ Allen, and he's got nothing.
He gets ahead. Sasha gets ahead of Ledger into 4th.
But Ledger's
still side by
back.
side. They touch wheels, and Sasha's gone spinella, and he's lost an end plate.
And it's chaotic. Everyone was trying to avoid
and
that.
And Penku's gone as well. Goodness me, it's drama up and down the field.
Penku got caught up in spin with Sasha. I think disappointment for him. I don't think it doesn't look like he's sustaining any front wing damage. Sasha though has lost an end plate, and that is promoted path up to P4. And now he's chasing down Ledger for third. He needs to get past Ledger if he wants a chance to have that sack. When Hurricane had been pit stop and he's battling JBL at the back.
Anderson meanwhile gets ahead of Sasha into 9th place. That could be beneficiary heading for the Constructors' Championship, but as it stands, it looks like Haas will take the lead in the Constructors' Championship, which will be a big momentum boost for Sack as Ledger comes into the pits. Path now up to 3rd.
And what is the benefit of this stop? And it doesn't look like a front wing change. I think Ledger just wants to get off the soft tyre.
Can't say because like I was saying. Like I said, the soft tyres do not last long round here.
That was a big delay.
And Lopez. Oh!
No.
Lopez
Not what he needed.
First at his home race as well. But that's the first of the time penalties today.
He's battling Anderson.
Anderson does get ahead.
Meanwhile, got Ollie on the back of CJ Allen for 4th. He has the DRS. Though, but it won't be enough. He will have it though for the main straight, which is the prime overtaking spot around this circuit.
Heading into the stadium section now.
Also, Wellington's on the back of this as well.
Yeah, and you can see a lot of Mexican flags for the boss.
Right now, it came with a 3-second time penalty. Ollie is side by side with CG Allen and gets ahead. Meanwhile, Wellington's going to hang back. Parp has got a 3-second time penalty.
That's not what he needed for the championship. Kasak is famous for being a very clean driver. All going well for Sack. He could have the championship wrapped up as early as next week as we head to Brazil for the penultimate round of the championship.
Oh, Sasha! Danny's went into the back of Sasha, and Danny sustained front wing damage.
That's going to be another front. That's going to be another front wing change.
And Sasha with the front wing damage that was sustained earlier with the spin, and is now caused Danny to pretty much fall down the field as well. And this is going to make him have an early pit stop as well. Not what he needed.
We've had a front wing change practically every single lap of this race so far.
Penku is going to be going around the outside of Sasha, but already gets moved on before the corner. And is now up to 11th place now. He's got to get the boss for P10 in this race.
Wax, meanwhile, trying to get ahead of Jazz for 7th place. He's going to try the outside of turn 4 and says, thank you very much, I'll have a bit of that.
What a move from Wax. It is in his debut race in X1, and he made his mark.
Yeah, you could say he's the George Russell in this situation here. Here's hoping he doesn't have a Mercedes blunderbuss like they did at Sakhir. Not the best qualifying position, not the best qualifying in the world, but he's managed to keep himself out of trouble, and he's already up into 7th place. And he's closing in on Waddington.
Meanwhile, Waddington's on the back of Ollie and CJ Allen for 4th. He does have the DRS on CJ, but CJ will have the DRS of Ollie, so Ollie's not getting. Bennett is basically getting used for CJ Allen.
Waddington has a cheeky little look. Jazz gets back ahead of Wax meanwhile.
Wax try to keep it on the outside, which will turn to the inside, but then cuts the corner against
and Wax gets a time penalty.
Sasha finally makes it the pit stop. The front wing change. Ultimate keeping it up front. Wax gets it back ahead of Jazz. Waddington struggling though to get past CJ Allen. So is his tyres starting to fade?
Yeah, that just backs up what I said earlier. These tyres do not last long round here.
And CJ Allen is in a good position because he's on the mediums. And he go quite long compared to the soft runners.
If he does have another set of mediums on hand, he could very well use those heading into. He could very well use those at the end of the race. Waddington has no ERS. He's going to have to let that recharge for a while. CJ, meanwhile, trying to get ahead of Ollie, but nothing coming of it at the moment.
Jazz was trying to get past Wax, and Anderson's on the back of it. So is the boss. And is Anderson on the outside? Is he gonna do it on Jazz? Yes, he does. Anderson gets past Jazz for 8th place.
Look at this, you've got 4-car train here. Anderson, Jazz, Lopez and Penku. You've got 2 Brits sandwiching 2 Mexicans. Can the Mexicans get out of this sandwich somehow?
Lopez has got the DRS on Jazz. But it won't come to much as they've gone through now the stadium section. And
Path goes to the front runners into the pits. And Lopez into the top 10.
Let you go off for a second time penalty. And now Lopez will have the DRS on Jazz. He's in 9th, but this will be for P8, and he breezes past.
Absolutely.
And now we can go set about for Anderson.
That's embarrassing. I called Penku British. He's actually Polish. My bad. I'm still tired from my I'm still tired from my charity stream, folks. From yesterday. Bear with me.
Penku got past Jazz for 9th.
And Lopez is in 8th.
And he is on that mediums. So he's in a very good position at the moment.
And Ultimate comes in.
Zach also into the pits.
We're going to be in for a pit stop race here.
Ollie dives in as well. That gives CJ the beneficial lead of the race.
Qualified outside the top 10 and he's now in the lead.
Path is coming around the final corner now. Smooth it's going in the pit and he'll have the DRS on Hazel. But Zach and Ultimate have already exited the pits.
Ultimate only lost 2 positions there. Zach went from 2nd down to 7th.
Path got past Hazel for 8th. Meanwhile, Ultimate gets past Wax for P2. Lopez.
Without much difficulty. But Wax will need to come in to make his stop because those soft tyres are going to be at the end of their lifespan.
Zach has got to get past Penku for P6. What is going to happen here? Is Penku going to fight with Zach?
Who knows?
And Lopez is up P5 right now. That's after Zach, Ultimate and Ollie have made their stops. Meanwhile, Ollie is out the pit lane and is in P12 ahead of Ledger. Meanwhile, Penku
and Wax does come in.
This is going to be this is free. This is going to be this. Penku make a move. This could be
Zach on the back of this battle. Is he going to go for a twofer here? A double overtake?
No.
Not quite. He gets ahead of Lopez though. He'll have DRS on.
Oh, Penku's gone.
Oh, Penku's out of the race. Virtual safety car. It's our first retirement of the day.
He lost the back end and is now out of the race. It's not what he wanted in the Mexican Grand Prix. But the first retirement coming in 12 laps into the race. And it's just only a virtual safety car. JBL is pitted onto the hards. Not really a tire you do want to be on this track. And there
we go, we're underway once again.
Back to green flag racing. Ollie gets past Erdica just as we go green flag. Path is catching up to Lopez. P6. P6 of this race. You got CGR and just out in front at the moment, but he's yet to make a pit stop.
Warrington gets ahead of Ledger meanwhile. It looks like Warrington is going for a 2-stop. Zach, meanwhile, on the back of Anderson, chasing down that podium position.
Interesting to see how that strategy will go for Warrington, doing that 2-stop. Anderson's playing a crucial role here. With his teammate in P6 and his teammate's championship rival right behind him.
Yeah, Path on the back of Lopez. So Zach is going to have Zach is going to have so much more pace. He's going to have ERS. He's going to have it up to the max. There we go. DRS enabled.
Are they going to make the move at the same time?
Anderson trying to cover the inside line, but not able to make anything of it. Path does get ahead of Lopez. Anderson may very well slow to let Path through to help him for the championship.
He's not.
Sack now up to third.
Meanwhile, Ultimate closing that gap to CJ Allen.
Ultimate does have the fastest lap of the race so far with a 16.9. Sack only got a 17.7. So as it stands, Ultimate will have not just the fastest lap of the race, but he will also have the bonus point for the fastest clean driver.
Wax gets a 3-second time penalty. And he's on the back of Ledger for P10. Interesting to see how that will go. And Lopez is in the pits. And
13 laps on.
Hasler's got it as well. Renault were double stacking.
Does.
But I don't think it will play effect.
They might avoid the double stack here. No, they don't.
And Hasler's lost
They don't
crucial
avoid the double
time.
stack.
Half is on the back of his teammate. Pretty much. Is Anderson going to let him by? To say, you go and catch Shaq, you'll have the pace. And Anderson goes into the pitch though, so that helps Path. So is
Path can
Anderson
now start. And he's going to have DRS, even though he's got nobody to overtake. That could be pivotal in closing the gap to Sack.
Ultimate pretty much is nearing DRS range of CJ Allen at the moment, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And Zola jokingly saying in the chat, said that Penku was one to watch, but not in that way. Oh dear. But oh, hey ho, Ultimate. Ultimate is in DRS range of CJ. Is he going to have DRS?
CJ Allen goes in the pits.
Not going to matter anyway. Ultimate back into the lead. And that puts Sack into second place.
And we'll see where CJ goes out onto hards. And he will most likely come out behind Wellington but ahead of Wax. So in P6.
It does look like CJ is going for the one stop here. Everyone has made at least one stop. JBL, the only one to have made two stops. Closest battle on track is Lopez and Jazz coming through the S's. That's the last point-paying position. Coming out of the stadium section now. Lopez is going to have DRS. It's Mexican versus Mexican. A true Mexican standoff here. Lopez goes to the inside. And he gets through. He's into the points.
Low gets number 3 second time. Path, by the way, is caught up to Sack. So we could be seeing Path in DRS range of him. Or get DRS off him.
This is the crucial turning point of the race, not just for the results, but for the championship as well. Path has DRS on Sack, but Sack is starting to pull away.
I think Path made a mistake on the exit of the final corner. I think that's what gives Sack the advantage. The Path will have DRS on the second straight. And Sack's just trying to break the slipstream. Anderson, meanwhile, gets past Ledger for 8th.
Big lock up there. Big lock up there from Path. He'll be determined to make this count. He's going to have DRS heading into the stadium section. Sack tries to cover. Sack tries to cover the inside. Yellow flags in sectors 1 and 2. It's Danny! Danny for Red Bull!
And he's gone. But we're looking at Path and Sack for the DRS, but this time Path is closer to Sack. So the move will most likely be done, and it has been done.
Into second place. That'll help close the gap in the championship. Bit of a lock up there from Path. Is he going to stay ahead?
Yes, he
is. Well played from Path.
Let's just got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And now Path can think about pulling away from Sack and try to catch up with Ultimate.
Absolutely. CJ in DRS range of Waddington. This is the battle for 5th place. But Waddington comes in. What ties is he going to go on?
And Path is already pulled away that gap.
Well, he's going to need to start building that gap, otherwise he's going to lose that second place. Anything can still happen here.
Lopez is on the back of Anderson, who's on the back of Wax for P6. Lopez is in P8 at the moment. Ledger gets a 3-second time penalty.
Path only has 3 seconds worth of penalties at the moment.
And Ledger's on 11 seconds. Anderson
Anderson's going to have DRS on Wax. Wax doing well to defend his position.
This is brilliant, and Lopez is in P8, so points could be on the cards for him. And there's a yellow flag, that's a racing point gone, and that is
it's low. That was on the exit of turn 1.
And Path is pretty much got out of that 3-second gap that he needs.
That means he'll keep second place whatever happens.
There's a yellow flag sector 2, and I think that's Ledger gone. Ledger, I think, kind of spin. It's Lopez going to get past Anderson. Not moving straight. Trying, but no. Ultimate has the 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that could be pivotal.
The pace we've been seeing Path in this stint has been absolutely immense, so we could be seeing him catch up.
Indeed. He's got about 6 seconds to make up. And then he's got to keep that 3-second gap between him and Sag, but that gap is definitely growing.
Not long to go now left in this race, and I think it can still happen. There's only one retirement so far in this race, and that's Panku.
So predicted championship standings at the moment. The gap will close to 19 points heading into Brazil next week.
And if it is like that, we'll be looking at permutations as well.
Absolutely. Because mathematically, Sak cannot win the championship tonight because he's 22 points ahead. He would need at least 28 points. But he's not. But the most he's able to get is 27 points for the point for the win. The 25 points for the win, point for the fastest lap, and a point for penalty free, which he might actually get at the moment. Is no, that's Anderson that has. Yes, it would be Sag that gets that penalty free point. Because he's got a 17.7. No, it would be Hazel actually with a 17.6. Or would it be? Oh, I am. We'll work that part out later. But as it stands, as far as points in general are concerned, McLaren will increase their lead from 6 points to 15 points.
Ooh.
Because Anderson currently 7th.
Lopez is on the back of it, though, and he's got DRS. Lopez is looking closer to Anderson. Is he going to make that move from the inside? No. But
Anderson had DRS on Wax, though. So it wasn't going to make much of a difference.
Oh.
Hang on. I think Anderson's made a mistake. Can Lopez get him in this double apex?
No,
Not
he doesn't.
quite. Not quite. Through the S's now. Oh! Oh, here comes the... Oh, my word!
That is worthy. And that is why. That is a brilliant move.
Unbelievable!
The boss is now on the act of brilliant overtakes. Ledger gets a 3-second time penalty. Ultimate is in the pits. Sack's in the pits. They're all on softs. Path is leading the race.
In the lead.
But will Path make his pit stop?
He's going to need to. Those mediums are not going to last very long. Those mediums are not going to last much longer. Because Ultimate, look at that. Ultimate is closing that gap and closing fast. Sack down to 6. Ultimate only lost 1 position at the end of all that. Erdika with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Anderson's in. Hazel's in. Erdika's in. They're all going for sauce to the finish.
So they're all going to try and get that fastest lap. So Wax is behind. Sack's behind Wax. And it's Wax.
The Sack should get ahead without much difficulty.
So Path is going into the pits.
He goes in. Now, watch for Sack. This could be pivotal. Can Sack get ahead of Path in the pit stops? Is the undercut going to work? He has DRS. Tries the outside into the stadium section, and he gets into 5th.
Oh, yep, there goes Path on the softs. But where is Sack? He's coming now by the final corner. Has Path done it? Yes, he has. He gets out ahead. And that is crucial.
What the gap goes down to. What does the gap go down to? The gap is down to 4.3. 4.3. Path still has the gap he needs. He needs to close in on Ultimate and pronto. He'll need to get ahead of CJ.
He's got the fresher tires compared to Sack to Ultimate as well. So that is pivotal. Lopez in P9 at the moment on the soft, so hopefully he can get to the point. It's in some good points probably for himself on his home race.
Absolutely.
In terms
I mean, 2 points is better than nothing. Absolutely.
And I think he'll take it. I think for his home race as well.
Yeah, he'll just be happy if he walks away with points in general. Path already within DRS range. An Ultimate fastest lap of the race. 1:16.122. Path already within DRS range of CJ. Down the main straight. Here we go. DRS wide open. Everything's
Sack,
up to the max.
15-6.
Sack. He's now got the fastest lap of the race. This could be pivotal for the championship. Here comes Path on CJ. Through just like that. Thank you very much. I'll have a bit of that. Ultimate, you're next on my hit list.
The gap is 8 seconds, though, but he will have that advantage.
At a second a lap, it's doable, providing Ultimate providing he doesn't pick up any more track penalties.
And with that, they are both on 3 seconds, so it is going to be tight. This finish.
Absolutely. I say, what a lap from Sack. 15.6.
Interesting to see what Path could produce on his frontline lap, on his lap. 1 second quicker in the second sector goes Path.
That is blistering pace. And that's all thanks to him having the DRS and
15.6.
16. Wow!
He gets the fastest lap.
5,000th! 0.005 faster than Sack.
That is close as well. That is really close.
Path now has to hope that Ultimate makes a mistake, but I don't think that's likely to happen.
Path is mirroring a lap car, and that is Danny in the Red Bull. Meanwhile, Ultimate hasn't got any lap cars to pass for the moment.
Yeah, Ultimate does have clear air at the moment. Smooth is in the pits.
It's going to be a showdown. It's basically going to be on the lap times of these drivers.
So we don't know what's happening as far as the timing screens are concerned. The gap's down to 7.2.
Lowe's got a 3-second time penalty.
Path's not closing as much as he would like. Path is not closing as much as he would like. It looks like it is going to be Ultimate that takes the win. But Sack, meanwhile, having a look at CJ for third. And the gap is down to 15 points at the moment. But Sack could get that up by another 3 points.
He does it.
He does.
He does
That
it.
gap's up to 18 points now. Is Sack going to close in on Path? Path's having trouble closing in on Ultimate.
He gets another time
Path,
penalty.
oh! And Sack still has no penalties.
Oh, that is how.
What?
Oh, no.
That is the sort of breathing space that Ultimate needed to help Williams become best of the rest in the Constructors' Championship. But Sack with no penalties. Path has 6. The gap is 5.9. Path needs to keep within touching distance. He needs to keep that gap above 6 seconds. Otherwise, he is going to lose another 3 points to Sack in the championship. There's 5 to go. It's grandstand finish time. Path is picking up the pace. But so is Sack. Sack is responding.
Meanwhile,
How pivotal is this going to be?
the constructors as well. The points is going to help. It's in the constructors. Waterton's in P6. Anderson's 8. And Anderson has got time penalties compared to Warrington, and it's 12 seconds Anderson has, so he could get out of the points. This is racing that is proof of X1.
Absolutely. Warrington has no penalties either, but I don't think he's going to be making up any positions at the moment, as he can't close in on Ollie at the moment.
Wax is in P7, so that's good. It's looking good for him. But in terms of penalties, he's got 6 seconds. Leisure and JBL are in pits, and now they're lapped by Ultimate.
Oh my goodness me. The Constructors' Championship's definitely going to go to the wire, because stands taking the penalties into account. Haas will take the lead in the Constructors' Championship by just 2 points.
It's all heating up and towards the end of the season. I think Path has got the gap he needs.
Yeah, 6.9. Up to 7 now. We've been so busy focusing on all of this, we haven't even had a chance to talk about our picks for driver of the day.
Driver of the day, I think I'll go Wax for his debut. For his first race, didn't do well in qualifying, but he kept out of trouble and won the race. He's P7 at the moment, so I'll give mine to Wax, I think, for driver of the day.
Yeah, Wax definitely has a very strong case for driver of the day. CJ does have a strong case as well, because one thing we need to bear in mind is that CJ started 12th, and he's now up into 4th on the verge of a podium position.
Wax has got past Wallington for P6. But Wallington will have the DRS on the main straight. Anderson is on the back of this val as well. Wallington is on the inside of Wax and he gets ahead. But Wax will keep on the outside. This is wheel-to-wheel racing.
Wax not giving it up that easily.
And he's stays ahead.
They're still side by side. Oh my word.
And Wallington will go for the outside. Into the next corner.
Wax defending the inside line. Is Wax going to get through? Yes, he is.
Brilliant.
This is the sort of racing I love to see. This is brilliant racing up and down the field. We're on the penultimate lap. Gap's 8.5 between Path and Sack now. And Wax trying to get ahead of Waddington. Oh my! Gonna have to try harder than that, he thinks. These two, these three still battling for that for 6th place, but Waddington will keep it regardless. Wax will have DRS on Waddington, but Anderson, oh my word, what an exit from that corner! Anderson gets ahead of Wax, oh my word, they almost touch. Wax keeps ahead. What a climax to the race this is going to be for these three. And now Lopez, the boss, has joined in. He wants a piece of the action. But we're going to have to cut away from that because we've got Ultimate coming through the stadium section now. Well, coming through the S's, heading up to the stadium section for the last time today. And there's the confetti. An Ultimate, a stellar performance from him today. He comes across the final corner, he takes the checkered flag, and he will win the Mexican Grand Prix. Path comes across in 2nd place.
Zach will come down the final corner now as well. He'll take P3.
Absolutely.
CJ Allen will take 4th.
It's Ultimate's 2nd win at this track. He won it here last season.
And it's the four-way scrap. Lopez is now in the stadium section for the final time. And this is where it's going to get interesting.
Waddington's managed to pull away. Got everything turned up to the max. That ensures he keeps 6th place.
Lopez in 8th.
Lopez gets ahead of Anderson.
Hazel in 9th. Penalty getting points. Jazz into 10th. And Anderson's out of the points.
Nil points for Anderson. Haas lead the Constructors' Championship. How pivotal is that going to be?
Smooth will be the last one to cross the line. He crosses it in P13. He'll get P13. But end to the Mexican Grand Prix. McLaren lose the lead to the Constructors, and the game is given Wax Driver of the Day.
Definitely hard to argue with that, but I'm still going with CJ as my Driver of the Day. He started 12th and he got himself up into 4th. But if I didn't go for CJ, I would definitely go for Wax as well.
But this one, I think this one will be a very good one for the championship. Because we're going to Brazil, and I think it's all going to go down there.
Indeed.
Half of the fastest lap of the race as well today. And CJ, I think the only person to do a one stop in this race.
And it paid off, and he ended up finishing 4th.
Good stuff. That is very good stuff.
So let's quickly go through the finishing standings before the incident report gets published. We've got Ultimate, Path, Sack, CJ, Ollie, Waddington, Wax, Lopez, Hazel, and Jazz. That's your top 10. And then you've got Anderson, Sasha, Smooth, Erdika, Hurricane, JBL, Low, Ledger, and Danny, and Penku, the only DNF. And Sack will indeed get the penalty-free point. He managed to get... He did have the fastest lap at one point. So he'll get 16 points today. Path will walk away with 19 points. But only 19 points for McLaren. Brings them on to 468. Third for Sack, which gives him 15 points plus the point for the penalty free. He'll have 16 points plus sixth place for Waddington, which is 10. What's it? Which is 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Another 8 points for Haas, which puts Haas 9 points ahead of McLaren heading into Brazil next week. 19 points between Path and Sack heading into Brazil. A very firm fan favourites. And I can confirm that it was confirmed last week that Brazil will be the season 4 finale. Cannot wait.
That'll be a very good one, hopefully.
Absolutely. Especially with the championship up for grabs. I mean, mathematically, Sack could win the championship next week, becoming our first 2-time X1 champion. He's 9 points ahead. He only needs to finish at least sixth and hope Path fails to score to guarantee he gets the championship. 2 races to go. Can Sack wrap up the championship next week? It's looking very likely that we're going to have the Constructors' Championship decided at the season finale. But for now, Harry, thanks very much for joining me this evening.
Thank you.
And a big thanks to you guys watching at home as well. We are definitely looking forward to next week, heading into Brazil for the penultimate round of the championship. But for now, we will see you guys next week. Good night.